What is going on, everybody? It is me again. It's HorrorFan34, and welcome to another video. And I know it's been a while since I did a video. Just been relaxing, things like that. But I figured I had to do one for this one. This is going to be my Monster Mania update. I'm not really good at doing Roman numerals, so I'm not gonna try to think. I want to say it's like Monster Mania 50 something or 40 something. It's something around there. I cannot remember for sure. It has to be. I think Monster Mania 46, based on what I'm reading off the Roman numerals here. But Monster Mania is back. Of course, everything was pushed back because of the what happened and things like that. And went Friday. Had a great time. It was in blistering hot out, but luckily it was an indoor event, thankfully, so things like that. Now the convention required you to wear a mask all around the convention except for taking pictures with the celebrities and things like that, but other than that you had to wear your mask around and things like that. So gotta do what you gotta do and things like that. Just we're very grateful that the conventions are back up again and things like that. Have the wristband right here for my Friday. When I went Friday, I went there to pick up my wristband around like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Picked that up very easily and got it on my wrist, and then I came back around 5 o'clock when autograph hours started, and then just hopped right into the show. And from there on, it was a blast. Got to meet 6 celebrities, which was cool. And I would probably say out of all my cons, this might be the most celebrities I've met out of any con, because the prices for most of these people were really good prices. Only 2 of them were the more higher up ones, but everybody else was pretty cheap for price wise. But I'm gonna do a new thing here, doing these recap videos. What I'm going to try to do is when I do this video, there might be like a pause, like when I'm recording this or something like that, but I'm going to try to splice in like convention, like the photos of me and the celebrity, the signed item, things like that. So I'm going to try to splice those in. So say like, for example, I'll talk about the first one that I met, and I'll say like my experience with them. Then I'll say, here's my picture with me and them, and then there'll be like a pause, and then the picture would appear, and then I'll come back, and I'll say like, here is the how do you say, like, picture of the autograph that they signed, and things like that. So now with me going on and on, so here's the flyer itself that I picked up. Of course, this is the show that's going to be in September in Maryland. Robert Englund, Joe Bob Briggs, Alex Winter, Christina Ricci. And then they're having another one at a convention center, which is not that far from here, in October, where they have most of the Monster Squad people, which is cool, and James Jude Courtney as the new Michael Myers. So, that's awesome. So, let's get on to my meets here. Okay, so the first one that I met, as soon as I jumped into the main autograph room, the first one I met was Lauren Marie Taylor. Lauren Marie Taylor, of course, was, Vicky in Friday the 13th Part 2. She's been in other stuff, too. Neighbors with John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. Girls' Night Out. And, of course, if you're a soap opera sort of like fan, she was on the show Loving from back in the 90s when she was on there. And really, really nice lady, Lauren Marie Taylor. I talked with her for about 10 minutes. Just a really nice lady. When I handed her my Friday the 13th box set to get signed, she's like, "What's this, man? I haven't seen this like set in years." And I'm like, I've had that thing laying around since like 2009 when I first got that. And I said to her, hey, now that I have the new box set from Scream Factory up there, I figured now, why not, get some people to sign my DVD and probably put it up on my shelf and display it as a autograph item. And she's like, why not? So I actually mainly talked to her mainly about her appearance on Match Game back in 1990 when it was on ABC, when Ross Shaver was hosting it, when it was brought to ABC. And they did a whole special week on the show Loving. And Lauren Marie and one of her co-stars, Perry Stevens, was on the show for that week. And unfortunately, we talked a little bit about Perry Stevens, who has passed away for quite a while now. We talked a little bit about that, saying how great he was. She said a lot of really great things about when she was on, because like she appeared on the show with Betty White and Charles Nelson Riley. She was explaining about like how Charles Nelson Riley was just really funny guy, really just energetic. She had a lot of great stories to tell about Betty White, how Betty White loved cats and things like that. So some pretty cool stories about her being on Match Game, and she was very, very joyful to hear that someone knows about her appearance on Match Game back in 1990. So I thought that was a pretty cool story. Just a really nice lady. So here is the picture of me and Lauren Marie. And here is the picture of her autograph on my Friday the 13th box set. She just put her character name in Vic, and her character name Vicky and Lauren Marie Taylor. So that way she says like, oh, I'll make some room for you, and you can like, save room for other people and things like that to add to it. So here's that picture. Okay, everybody, moving on. Next up here we have Martin Kove. Of course, Martin Kove, legend from the Karate Kid movies as Kreese, Erickson in Rambo 2, and a lot of other stuff. Martin Kove was my second most anticipated meet of the con. And Martin Kove, really, really nice guy, really down-to-earth guy. I got him to sign my Rambo DVD set that I have, the tin, and that's long out of print. And when I handed it to him, he's like, I have this. Like, I have this box set. So I thought that was pretty cool. And he was telling some cool stories, said a lot of really nice things about Sylvester Stallone, saying him and Stallone go back a long time. They're good friends with one another, which I think is cool. And he says, like, what was my line? I'm trying to think of, like, one of my favorite lines in the movie. And he's like, great to see ya. How about that? And I'm like, works for me. So he signed it the way he signed it that way. And I'm trying to think what else he he also was telling me, he was like, I tell you what, out of all these films, he said that his favorite was Rambo 3. And I just love that, because I think Rambo 3 is very underrated. I think it's one of the most underrated sequels ever, and he wholeheartedly agreed with me. He says he loves Rambo 3, loves the action and things like that. So I thought that was pretty cool that, hey, Martin Kove is a big fan of Rambo 3, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, Martin Kove, great guy. I actually also told him that Rob was a huge fan of his, and Rob actually asked me if I can say that to Martin Kove for him. And I was thinking about trying to get a video of him saying hi to Rob and all that stuff, but like they're kind of hard to do, and the line was a little crazy, so I didn't want to risk pissing anybody off waiting. So I said, like, my buddy Rob, he's a really big fan of yours, and things like that. And he said to tell Rob, he sends his thanks to him for being a fan and things like that. So I thought that was really cool. So here is my picture with Martin Kove. And a picture of Martin Kove signing my Rambo set. And the actual autographed item of that. Okay, next up we have my most anticipated meet of the con, and that was Matthew Lillard. People don't know who Matthew Lillard is. Has been in a lot of stuff over the years. Serial Moms, Scooby-Doo, Scream, and Without a Paddle, 13 Ghosts. hackers, and just countless and countless of other stuff. His line was insanely long. I waited his line probably like almost an hour and a half. I'm actually glad I jumped in the line when I did, because the line grew even bigger and bigger when I got in there and things like that. So pretty long line, but it was so worth it. He took his time. He just took his time with everybody. When I got in there, just a really nice guy. Very funny and talkative and just joking around with everybody. His agent was actually Sean Clark, who does the Horrors Hollow Grounds, and when there was music blaring in the room they were in, and whenever a certain song came on, they would like start singing with one another. They'd be like pointing at one another, hitting high notes and making weird faces like they were rock stars and trying to hit high notes. It was pretty funny. Matthew Lillard was just a ball to meet. And of course, I got him to sign my Scream Blu-ray set. So here is my picture with Matthew Lillard. And a picture of the autographed item. Yeah, for some reason, I don't really think when I'm meeting the celebrities of getting them a picture of them signing it. I only did that with Crease. I don't know why. I just don't tend to think to do that. So please forgive me. That's the only one that I have of his. But anyways, moving on. Next one here. As soon as I was done with Matthew Lillard, I darted right back down to the main tent room, back where Martin Cove and all them were, and I got my last three people of the con, which was three of the Child's Play people that were there. I think there was five of them. Chris Sarandon and Brad Dourif I didn't get, but these three I did. So the first one, excuse me. The next one I actually met is I would probably say it's probably my favorite meet of the con. I mean, Matthew Lillard and Martin Cove and Laura Marie were fantastic. Matthew Lillard was well worth the wait and very did not disappoint. Same with Martin Cove and things like that. So. But for this one was a big surprise for me, because I didn't really know much about her doing conventions and things like that. I never really heard about her name being floated around as a convention name. I've always heard like about all the other Child's Play people, but not really her. And she totally blew me away, and that is Christina Lease. Of course, Kyle, the foster sister from Child's Play 2. She's been into some other stuff as well. I actually got her on Boiling Point with Wesley Snipes, and I remember when I walked up to her, I handed her my Boiling Point DVD, and she was just blown away. She was like, "Wow, like I never see any of these things that get signed," because she's always used to Chucky stuff because of Child's Play 2 and things like that. So I was like, I even told her, I'm like, "Hey, you know, I'm the kind of guy that likes to, you know, give up, you know, have celebrities like sign obscure items that they might not even hear about or never get brought up to them at all." And I feel like, and I say to her, like, I always feel like the celebrity enjoys that a lot when I bring up something that's like not their main thing that everybody else gets for them. So like I did that with Tony Todd for like Enemy Territory and, you know, things like that. So I always like to bring up obscure things, and I always think that the celebrities get a kick out of that, and Christina Lease was especially one of them. So then I was like, I even asked her, like, did you ever have any experiences on the set with Wesley Snipes or Dennis Hopper on the film? And she's like, no, because they never shared any scenes together, so she never got to see either of those two on the set. So she went into this really, really cool story about, like, how Viggo Mortensen, who was also a co-star in the film, how her role was supposed to be more substantial, and Viggo Mortensen wanted her to play his wife in the movie in Boiling Point, and her character was going to have much more depth to her and more character and more screen time. But apparently they cut a lot of stuff out with her character, and Viggo Mortensen didn't like that, so he wanted to make it up to her. So the next film that Viggo Mortensen did was a film called, I think, The Vanishing Point, made for TV, and he got Christina Lease on board to play his wife in that film. So she basically said, you know, hey, Viggo Mortensen helped me out get another starring job because of Boiling Point, which I thought was really, really cool. I thought it was a really cool story about, hey, you know, Viggo Mortensen uh,